Hello there, and welcome to this video where I'm going to explain to you the robots that I'm taking to the Reading Brick Show. Not this weekend, next weekend. Oh my goodness, I am so excited about this one. So, a little bit of history. When I first thought, I wonder if Lego robot fighting is a thing, I looked up online, and it was a thing, and the footage and the photos I was all finding were from the Reading Brick Show. And it had some fantastic footage from Sunny Side Up, Pegasus, Revolution, which then became Second Revolution, and this really got me into the whole thing. And when I started getting into Lego robot fighting, people would always say, well, are you going to Reading? Have you been invited to Reading? And I was like, no, I haven't. But this year, I have been invited to Reading, so I am going to the Reading Brick Show, and it's going to be amazing. See, I met at Steam Mike, the organiser of the Steam Brick Fighting and the Reading Brick Show, and by the end of the day, he gave me an invite to the Reading Brick Show. Oh my goodness. So, which robots am I taking, and how have they changed since the last time you've seen them, and why? First up, Thomas the Tank. Thomas the Tank is a real crowd pleaser. I don't think he's had any changes recently. I'm really chuffed with like the little kind of access port for his power button and his charging cable. Very rare for me to have an easy access charging cable. I kind of part my build, so I seem to hide them away. But Thomas is a real crowd pleaser. I think it'd be really nice to take him to Reading. But also in Reading they do something called lemming fighting, where you have 4 mini-bots against one big robot, and sometimes they just have lots of mini-bot fighting, and I think Thomas is such an excellent one for lemming mini-bot fighting, so really happy he's coming. Okay, Bishop. Really happy with Bishop's finally going to Reading. I think it'd be a really nice place for him to show off. I think he's now the only Omni-Wheeler in the UK, and I think maybe just one Omni-Wheeler in America at the moment. But after his performance in Lego Wars, I really want to show him off. He got best design, so chuffed about that. So yeah, really looking forward to Bishop. Other than that, I don't think he's had really many changes. I think he's kind of pretty much the same. Claptrap and Cracker. Claptrap hasn't had any real changes in a long time. I've just kind of really secured his cable. Since the new rules, you can now use elastic bands to secure cables, so I've totally taken advantage of that, because the amount of times that they've been chewed up in his self-righting gears, oh my goodness, I've almost lost so many motors that way. But he's nice and ready. He's always been a bit underweight, which is great, because now the new rules allow tier 1 robots to have a bit more mass to them. I've got enough space for Cracker, his mini-bot, as from the video I posted. So it'll be the first time I think I'll be fighting with both of them working as a team, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Very much want to fight Kelsey Hammer and David Hyde Fierce with these two. I think it'll be a good counter for them. So really excited about a tier 1 fight from them. The Ice Climbers, Nana and Popo, they did okay in Lego Wars. I wish they could have gone further. I would like to see them in the last last 16 maybe, or at least get into the second round. But I think they'll be real crowd pleasers in Reading, and they're just such good fun to drive with and such good fun to fight with. I think Reading overall has less powerful robots than the robots that we normally fight, say like the ones with the Bristol Brick Show or it's Supersonic. And that's not a read or a dig, but I think there's just like different styles of building, and I think these are a lot more brick based and a bit older styled. They've still got some nice spinners amongst them though, but I think the Ice Climbers could do quite well at Reading. I think it'd be good fun. Okay, now we're on to the big guns, Bluetooth. Oh my goodness. So when I totally rebuilt Bluetooth, as per my video, I was so worried that he just wasn't going to be the same, he wasn't going to be very good. I didn't know what I was doing because I was building in a style that I'm not really used to. But his performance in the Black Country Brick Show, oh my goodness, he was absolutely fantastic. Only kind of criticisms. It turned out that I wasn't using these bracing pieces. I must have ran out and used something else instead, because that was the one that allowed that bit to kind of fully come off in that video against Reaper. Absolutely incredible fight. So, changing it up a bit, I've made sure now that his wheel's nice and secure. I've lightened the wheel again so it can spin faster. Changed the gear ratio so the wheel is now spinning faster as well. I think his forks work really well. It was only flipped over once because he's got no self-righter. I've now got some bracing on the side here to stop the wheels from coming apart. I think overall I am so impressed, and I think he's going to do really well in Reading. I'm really looking forward to seeing him fight again. So really happy with Bluetooth. Here he is, it's Beaky. I'm going to start this video part of the video by saying, oh, Beaky's had a complete rebuild since you last saw him. But I think I've started the introductions to Beaky for the last 3 or 4 times like that. It's because of Black Death. Every time I do a nice solid rebuild of Beaky, he gets ripped apart again. And every time I do it, I think, oh, this will be the one where he's really tough and he's not going to come apart. And he does slightly better than last time, but each time he gets ripped apart. This time, this version of Indestructible Beaky, I've decided to go for a more beta approach and have that kind of solid kind of bar across the front. So the idea that what happened in the Backcountry Brick Show is because most axe robots have the axe mounting there, like Beaky used to have his arm there, and then his head would come down here, there'd be a gap here, and then that's where robots with horizontal spinners would then get on the inside here or here, and that's what happened in the Backcountry Brick Show. I'm pretty certain that one of Black Death's shots just went straight in here, and despite the fact I'd braced it kind of everywhere, that was such a good hold that it just pulled things apart. It just snapped pins, it snapped axles. I mean, Black Death is an excellent robot, so trying to stop it anyway is hard work. But I feel like having a solid front here, having his head geared so it can come down this way, he can still self-right, he's still got the same gearing and drive from the buggy motors that he had before, so he's nice and fast still. I've got rid of his brick separator claws for now. I might try and incorporate them later, but I've replaced them with these just because it's kind of classic Beaky claws again. So another complete rebuild of Beaky. I'm quite chuffed with his battery box. Let me just show that off. So there's his back with this nice like feather shapes that I always do, and if you pull out that peg and that peg, this whole bit opens up, revealing his weapon system. So his weapon system uses a switch on one part of Mold King, so it controls 2 large motors, extra large motors. But then if you put it back, and there it is. It's nice and solid. So Beaky, huge rebuild again. Really interested to see how he performs, but he's quite fast now. He's still got all his charm. Really looking forward to seeing how this version of him works. Aries had a really disappointing time at the Backcountry Brick Show. Took him there, all looked fine, gave him a check over, so started pumping gas using the back gas tanks, and then was building nice amount of pneumatic pressure. Then whenever I'd flip, it would flip, and then instantly I'd hear a tss, and he'd just lose pressure again, because normally the switch mechanism, wonderful design by Andrew Harvey, the switch mechanism comes over, the head still it stays up, and it stays up until you go back, and then the gas can leak out again. But you maintain a reasonable amount of pressure. But in the Backcountry, it would come, the switch would go, up it go, and then it would just hiss out immediately, and I'd have no pressure again. What it was is there was a breakage inside one of the cylinders, so I had to completely change the cylinder. But now I think it's back to normal. Really happy with Aries. Really looking forward to seeing if someone could take Aries on with a 4 lemmings. I'd like the idea of 4 mini-bots against Aries, just because they can push him around a bit, but then when he gets a good flip, he can just throw one of them across the arena. I think it would be hilarious. Yet again, with the absence of as many horrendous spinners at Reading, I think Aries could do quite well. He'll get himself into quite a storm, quite a short-walled arena, kind of flip people, some good arena hazards that you can just throw people onto and hopefully beach them and ground them on those. So yeah, looking forward to taking Aries to Reading for that reason. Oh, I do love driving Aries and fighting Aries. I love him. Sawbeak had a really mixed time. It was really interesting. In some fights, absolutely dominated the ground. Did some of my best ever driving, like the fight against Hazer with O'Dear. Very, very happy with that. But also, he sustained some of his biggest hits and damage I've ever seen. I really do think that AD and his robots like Crazy Dave and 3-Eyed Bob, he is my kryptonite. He's foiled me in so many places along so many tournaments and competitions. But Sawbeak, I'm getting fed up of Lego chains, and there's a big conversation about Lego chains in the Technic community, how people are just sick of them. So instead of chains, I've decided to go for elastic bands. Now, pros and cons. Pro, I won't have to spend the whole festival, brick show, or whatever event I'm at having to repair the chains all the time. oh god, it's just, and especially if like one or two pieces are hidden under the arena somewhere, and it's like, but that's one big problem. So bands, they shouldn't break, they should stay on, it should be fine. Con, I do lose a bit of power, I don't think the wheel's spinning quite as fast with this, but we'll see, we'll try it out. I think it's going to be heavy enough, like, and spin fast enough to do some damage to the robots I know are going to Reading, but he's still got his wedges and his drive system. I'm really happy with Sword Beak at the moment, he's kind of seemed quite nice, so yeah, that'll be good. And finally, the design from Nick Cohen, Beaky, my version of Papy, didn't do very well at the Black Country Brick Show, barely got to use it at all. My Buoys box and my phone just weren't communicating with each other very well. Interestingly, people who use Buoys and Bluetooth at home have no problems at all. You go to an event where there are like 50 mobile phones, 60 mobile phones in a room, and suddenly the Bluetooth starts to struggle. So I've changed it down to a Mole King box again. So having a look, there's a Mole King box on one side being kept in by like the spring-loaded weapon trick that Nick Cohen has on his instructions. I've replaced it with Lego string, which is the really good stuff, threaded up really nicely now. The biggest change actually came from one of the builders, Sam. Great idea. I was struggling to kind of come up with a grip because I wanted, so Papy uses tyres to grip on the top of the arm to hold people in place, whereas I wanted to have like a bird beak because, you know, it's Team Beaky. But one of the builders, Sam, he said, well, why don't you use pneumatic hose? So I've joined a piece of pneumatic hose together back here, and then the hose kind of drags all the way across there and stretches out. This is lovely. This provides a load of grip. So yeah, I think it works really, really nicely. His drive's still good. His snack compartment still works. Yeah, Mole King and hose. Those are my two big changes. I think he's going to do really, really well. Really happy to use him. I think finally I'll be able to use him properly and get some really good fights out of him. So these are the robots I'm taking to the Reading Brick Show. If you're going to the Reading Brick Show, let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions about any of the robots, also send me a comment. Really, really excited. A couple of friends are going. We're going to have a really nice time. I've been wanting to go for years and years and years. Really looking forward to this one. So please subscribe to the channel. I'm getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. So close, please. Just subscribe, or get your friends to subscribe, or get your nan and get her on our YouTube account to subscribe. But I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. I'll be putting the video up of Reading, of how these guys perform in a weekend or two. But yeah, really excited. Thanks for listening and watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.